Hello everyone, it is Wolf here, and today I want to show off, well, quite a old mod. But it's a mod that it seems like quite a few people don't even really know it still exists, or even talk about it. And it's this little mod down here, and this is the Ubio Weld Continuum mod, which, well, as the name may suggest, is a continuation of a mod made, originally was in development years ago by a creator, Ubio Zur, and is now being kept up to date by user by the name of Lycias. I hope I pronounced your name right. I apologize if I said the names wrong. But anyways, with how many people are coming back to Kerbal Space Program 1, and with how many people are actually getting into it now, ironically enough, I think Kerbal Space Program 2 actually got people talking about the first game again. At least to me, that's what it seems like. I mean, Kerbal Space Program 2, it got me to play, the first game again. But anyways, there's so many amazing mods for this game, so much great content for this game. But one of the biggest issues that many people have always had, and it's actually an issue with the engine and how it renders the physics. And for each part that you have, it has to render each of those parts. So, and the problem with how the engine renders physics, it is limited by one core. I think it's limited by like one core, one thread. I don't know if it actually is one core, one thread, or if it's uses multiple threads on a single core. But apparently, if you have a better, like more high-end CPU, something like a Ryzen, right, it will actually run worse, because of the single core performance isn't as good as like using the old like duo core or something, right? But anyways, without rambling on, what this does, it allows you to weld multiple parts together. So there's some limitations on here on what you can and cannot do. I notice certain engines can and can't actually, be used with like fuel tanks and stuff. I did try to, let's see, I did try to like create an engine and it didn't work. But anyways, what this is mostly gonna be used for is when you're using a lot of something. Let's say you're using a lot of fuel tanks, right? Well, for example, we got this bad boy over here, which I strapped just a bunch of these single parts all together. But if you look down here, this is one part, which means the performance with this one single tank is going to be, theoretically, should be much better. I've actually done tests. It actually seems like you have to, like, I would have to compare them with a lot of parts. I mean, it's only when you start getting like upwards of like 100 parts that you really start to notice. But like, anyways, I'll show you how it's done, how you do stuff. So basically what you can do here is you can take like two of these, right? And you just click the icon here. And all these different settings. Now I'll try to go through them the best I can. Now if you click include all notes, it'll include the ones it'll include all of them, including like the ones in between and stuff. You may or may not want to use this. It could mess things up or whatever. You could try. Don't process massless parts. Apparently, from what this says, it doesn't take into account massless parts with physics significance less than 1. So database auto reload. Now, theoretically, the way this is supposed to work, it's supposed to reload reload your database and load these parts in. I have a lot more mods installed, so it just crashes the game. Apparently, you can do pretty much clean install and just have this mod, and it should technically work. See, the way this works is it saves these parts as one part, right? That's how it's the way it has to be done, the way that the workaround is done, right? It doesn't actually literally weld them, if you know what I mean. Well, it like it kind of does. Well, I'll show you kind of when I'll have to show you how it's done. But anyways, you take these here. You can select part branch, right? You control click. You could control click what parts you want. So I can click actually just control click this one here, and then we're just going to go to weld it. And you can put your name. This is going to be the file name. So if you want to find this file outside of the game, this is the name you want to put it as. So you're going to put whatever, like a tank. And then a tank. And then you put like a well, it is, and then category fuel tanks. Now this is actually going to fill up these part slots. However, they're easy to find. It took me a bit to find these where these parts are saved, but once you know where they are, there's actually a file right in your game directory. Actually, that saves them separate from these parts in here. But the way it works, it has to save them in here so the game knows what they are and whatnot, right? And for like if you're doing career, it's gonna have to know what science, like tech trees and stuff. So right here, right? So category, this is gonna tell you, okay, this is a fuel tank. It's gonna show you what this is gonna be, where it's gonna save in here. And then required tech is what you're going to require. So this just requires fuel systems, because this is the tech tree for this. So we go to save. So new part saved and shipped. And now you're not going to see it right now, because what it does is it create a brand new part. Those two parts will now be one part, right? And then like what I did here, where I mentioned how I connected all these, it'll connect them into one part. So this is supposed to make things so much better, and I look forward to trying this out. I'm gonna be doing some more. Live streams. Been struggling a little bit because of heat wave here where I'm living. So. Anyways, a little bit of a shameless plug in there. I have a ton of stuff installed. This game is so amazing, and I mean, I'm hoping look, this mod isn't perfect, but it's a pretty decent workaround. Like, until someone can manage to optimize the game, or better optimization or something. That's the thing, right? We can't rely on Take-Two. They'll never update the game and bring it up to date or anything. So at this point, we gotta just rely on modders. So, props to the modders. Stuff like this really makes me happy. Should hopefully be able to save some frame rates. But anyways, I'm gonna, I'll have to do some more testing with this to 100%. Like, I noticed a difference of a few frames, but it was only, I only used a few parts anyways to begin with. But, like, in the past, you can watch other videos from years ago where apparently this did help. Scott Manley did this years ago, and he went from, like, eight frames to, like, a little bit more than that. No. But, anyways... I'll just give you a quick look at what folder you're going to be looking for in your game data. Okay, so even though your installation may vary, your installation path should be pretty much the same. In your game data, this is the folder you're looking for. This specific one here, _local. You just go in here. Go in this folder. I go in this OB Welding Limited, and these are all your folders. These are all your different parts, your different part categories. I don't think custom actually works. Probably delete that. I want to see what would happen. But you like engines and stuff. Now this is where I was talking about like the file names. These folders here, you can just straight up delete these. This is that Tank Zero I made, and there's a couple other ones that I made here. But if you're looking, that's where they are. Anyways, I'm gonna go back into the game, and I want to do some frame tests because I want to see the difference between using one part and using like 14 different parts or whatever. I want to see if we can see if there's a noticeable difference. So let's head back into the game. Okay, so first off, I actually built a little bit of a rocket here. We're gonna see if it'll launch. We'll see what the frame rates are like, just to see if there's a noticeable difference. So let's just give her a launch and put her on the launch pad, see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't instantly fall apart. Also, with the fact that these are all separate parts. This is 31 parts, by the way. So we'll just see what these frame rates are. You probably won't see them. I can see them on my screen, so just give it a minute to load. Another thing might take longer to load. Let's see. We'll get Tamwell here. Okay, so our current frame rates, we're hitting around 40 frames. We did not launch yet, so let's see. It's barely lifting off the ground, but it's lifting, so where you have dropped down to 24 frames per second. We'll leave this go for a little bit. You know, we're dropping up the going up 30, 35. So we're hitting up 35, 40, between 35, 40 frames. We're getting a yellow met right now. This is important to keep in mind. So, without sending it straight up in orbit, I mean, it's hard to tell because, without a ton of parts. Okay, so that's that one. Now, let's go back to the assembly building and try our modded version. And I apparently called that one Tester 2. Even though it should be Tester 1. Anyways. So now we gotta do Tester 2, Tester 1. This does, I think, the exact same in a series of what did I say was 19 parts here. So let's just see how this flies. Give it a launch. So this is how one has 19 parts. I didn't even cut it down. I probably could have cut it down a little bit more if I really wanted to. So what type of frame rates can we expect? Will it be noticeably different? Apparently it's supposed to. Either way, you can try it yourself and see if it helps. It probably takes hundreds of parts. See, right now we're seeing around the same frame rates, but again, this is a smaller rocket, so let's it's still lifting off, so it doesn't seem like it affects. It might also affect the physics a little bit. Yeah, see, the frame rates are around the same taking off here, getting around 30 frames or so. Okay, jumping right up to 40. Yeah, okay, we're already seeing a improvement. Already seeing an improvement. We're getting an average of 40 now, where I would before. Yeah, I'm hitting a stable like 40 frames. Not still not like it is good. Well, this one's flipped. This is flipping over because I did not turn SAS on. But yeah, I'm getting okay. So I've already been able to prove to that just from that little bit of a test, it's not huge, but still difference of a few frames. And again, that's not that big of a rocket. You know, if we want to launch something, let's say with hundreds of parts, that's when you're gonna start noticing the improvements in the frame rates. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope this video helped you. I will be leaving the link down in the description, and if you want to see more, check me out. I try to go live as often as I possibly can. You can also check my other socials out to then follow me there to keep updated for when I go live. So anyways, this has been Wolf. I hope you have a great day, and until next time.